So remember this whole area with the tricky laser bridge? There was a whole thing over here, we couldn't get to it because we don't have the ability to melt ice. Now we have that, so let's find out what we were missing.
I'm sure it's going to be very exciting.
Oh, you have no idea. I don't know how literally I mean that, but...
It's called the Ice Cauldron. I mean, how could it not be a great time?
Well, one thing of which we can be assured is that there is something here. And it's going to be a hell of a lot more exciting than what I'm going to find when I get all the way around these platforms. Whoops, we'll have to come back later. CrossCode! Anyway, this is where we're situated. I'm gonna literally have to make a note of this. Instances. Always a good sign. Also note yet another silver chest. Anyway, I know we just re-equipped, but let me just put these things back on. Because I'm not dealing with this. Note also the second occurrence of icicles that don't respawn. Probably by the time you come here you'll be wise to this trick. But I'm pretty sure my first time through this game I came in here before going in the other cave and I spent like literally ages trying to figure this bullshit thing out. Of course, if we did have the silver key, this is where we would go over to actually go and do all of that jumping. Now here's a room. I fucking hate this room.
I was gonna say, this looks fun.
Yeah, this is a whole thing. They decided, no, we're doing a platforming challenge. And this kind of looks like... It's got this deceptive timing to it, where it looks like these things are happening in one cycle, but... Actually, there's 2 cycles going out, and they're just slightly off sync.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Yeah. Don't worry, the other side is much worse.
That's very reassuring.
And yeah, the game starts doing these jumps eventually where you have to actually stop a little bit in midair in order to not overshoot. So that's fun. So anyway, you have to make these jumps like in the middle of the platform motion while the platform is moving at full speed, and you have to jump towards a platform that isn't there and is also moving in the opposite direction from you. And you gotta maneuver in midair. And don't forget to correct your brain for the perspective.
Yeah, this is nice.
It's a good time. I will not reveal the number of takes that this took. And finally there's this. This is actually the easiest thing in the room. So our reward for all that is a penguin disco.
I was gonna say, are we about to fight a penguin DJ? Is that what we're doing here?
That is absolutely what we are doing here. The penguins here are pretty unremarkable, except that they all synchronize their actions when Pen King Dakara up there starts beatboxing, which he will do liberally until we kill all of the penguins that are down here. Then he gets mad and actually comes down here.
I mean, this is definitely a concept, I will give them that.
Oh yeah. The big deal here is that these guys will all inflict chill on you if they hit you with snowballs, and there's going to be a lot of snowballs, and this is a big area, they're all coming from off camera, it's kind of a catastrophe really. And it's very easy to get distracted and try to fight all the ads, while forgetting that you only have a limited amount of time to hit Dakara, so he just goes back up there and you get to do all this again. I think he has two different kinds of beatboxing that he can do. There's one that makes them all throw snowballs at once, and then there's this one which makes them all do a charging attack at the same time. Also, I keep messing up combos because the penguins slip on ice and I don't, so I keep hitting them and they back away from me, and then that puts them out of range of the Sphere Sword, and that makes me sad. Pro tip, use fire.
It does seem like it would be the ideal way to handle this.
Of course, being in the fire element makes you more vulnerable to ice attacks and also the chill status effect, so there is that. It's very much a spicier way of doing things. Anyway, here's the second phase, and now we have to deal with 10 penguins at a time. I recommend Fire Whirl. Although flamethrowing is also a decent shout if you can get them bunched up enough, but Fire Whirl is a lot more reliable. Also, your reminder that dealing damage in neutral mode heals your element overload far faster than basically anything else you can do. It's a decent idea. Anyway, I was right about to set him on fire, and then I got hit out of the attack. There we go, he's now on fire. It's reasonably satisfying to do.
What does chill do aside from the obvious? Does it just slow you down?
Yeah, it slows down your movement and it slows down your fire rate. I think it also slows down your dodge. Also note that he continues being on fire after he goes back up, so if I hadn't set him on fire so early, we might have actually been able to win this during this phase. But yeah, chill is 100% about movement and timings. There's no real damage component to it, except that it slows down the rate at which you fire, so it makes you less able to do damage with bullet spam. I will never not find that satisfying. This has been Penking Dakara. We hope everybody enjoyed the show. Oh, by the way, that was the quest that the guy with the multi-class equipment wanted us to do. It turns out that he just sends us into the way of a whole lot of boss fights. What a guy.
I mean, I guess there's worse gimmicks to have. You could be the guy that sends you off to do a bunch of bullshit platforming.
Also, now that we have fire, we can just walk into this house without having to go across the rooftops from the other screen. It's great. Yeah, see, I don't talk about my backstory because I'm a cool guy. Doesn't even give us any items, although we do get paid, so that's nice.
Like how he just instantly vanishes as soon as that conversation is over.
It's very on-brand. Anyway, remember bug explosions?
They are pretty good.
Also, remember that guy? He's still there, there's still no point to him. Anyway, when we wrapped up bug explosions last time, we were promised the ability to eventually come back and do even more bug explosions. And now we've come to collect.
I like that this quest isn't even, there are more bugs we need to explode. No, it's, there might be some more bugs, so we're gonna preemptively draw them out and explode them now.
You can't be too thorough. They've got a whole sound device for it and everything. Except they kind of maybe could have given us some earplugs or something. Maybe. well, whatever. This quest is actually marked as an elite quest, so this should give you some idea of what we're in for. The other thing that could, give you an idea of what we're in for is the literal number 36 on the floor. It's a slight giveaway.
That is a lot of explosions.
This wave exists mostly to lull us into a false sense of security, although I think they honestly didn't account for players being on the ball already. We had to wait a little bit in order for the next lot to spawn in. And yeah, obviously they immediately start giving us the bugs spawning on our little ledge. I could fight the one that's up here, but it's much more fun to just dodge him while continuing to fight the others. That seems like much more of a pro shout. Once again, that bomb up on the ledge, it's really only useful if the bugs are still behind the barrier. Once they're up there, you pretty much can't hit them with that anymore. Anyway, I think we've been playing this altogether too efficiently. So, in a minute we're gonna embrace the chaos a little bit more. Just as soon as the next wave spawns. Here we go. I'm honestly kind of surprised the barriers restarted. I figured they'd stay down a lot longer and I'd have to start dealing with stuff. But don't worry.
I'm kind of surprised they respawn at all.
Yeah. You're pretty much guaranteed to start having a party up here eventually, though. And there's a nice large number of enemies. Watch this shot very carefully. I'm real pleased about that. Anyway, now it's time for the real fight. Can you tell I'm having fun here?
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
I love this encounter so much. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of do know why, but I wouldn't have expected it.
I mean, it is a good encounter. I cannot deny that.
It's great. And when you fight up here, there's just so much potential for trick shots to just happen, just because you get 3 bounces, there's a lot of bombs kicking around, there's a lot of bugs kicking around. Sooner or later, something's gonna hit something, and that something is gonna hit something else. I feel like this is some kind of emergent design lesson. So yeah, this is repeatable. You can do that, that's fun. We get a piece of equipment out of this, and they will actually open up a trading shop, what is the point of this guy, on the top floor where we can get even more miners' helmets by trading in stuff that we get for repeatedly doing bug explosions, but let's not. By the way, remember this room?
Is the miner's helmet particularly good or useful in any way?
Not really. But this is the only place where you can get them. Anyway, we got a bronze chest plate, which obviously is a plate made of bronze chests. It gives us less EXP and more items when we fight. But I'm just gonna not. Anyway, minor amount of cleanup. We were pretty comprehensive in our coverage of Bergen Trail. we missed like a handful of things. And of course the obligatory couple of chests that we literally just couldn't open yet. And this is one of those ones that just makes me get angry at the developers, because my eyes just glaze right over that box that lets us jump up there. I thought there was a big jumping puzzle, but actually it's literally just you jump on the box. And of course, we can get over here now. Watch out for those icicles, they respawn real fast.
I don't think the rabbit is the big concern here, Sergey. It might be the army of snowmen with rocket launchers directly above us.
Yeah, those guys have a history of attacking on sight, but they seem to be leaving us alone. And speaking of not fighting, you would think that this would be a fight, but it's not, it just does not engage. This bunny is the true winner of CrossCode. It never loses, because it knows the only winning move. Anyway, you absolutely can glitch over there before this, by the way, but the bunny won't be there.
That whole thing just feels like a big anticlimax.
Yeah, I think we can allow the game a couple anticlimaxes. By the way, can we get a shout out to promoting backtracking for 3 golden triangles? You know who we're subtweeting. Anyway, back in Autumn Residences, there is actually a second guild that we can go and visit. They're the Last Minute Heroes. And they are canonically made up entirely out of this game's Indiegogo backers. These statues, you can probably figure where this is going, are backer rewards, except there's kind of a curious detail. There's 4 of them, and yet I am looking at this game's Indiegogo page, and I am looking at the statue tier, and there were only 3 of them claimed, out of 50, by the way. So I don't know who the 4th guy is. Maybe some even higher tier guy just got given a statue by default. But yeah. I don't know why they have these placeholders here, and they could have had 4 statues. It couldn't have been that hard, right?
Probably would have looked better with just the 4, to be honest.
Right? Anyway, these guys are informed in-game presence, although they do actually have a couple of quests, like, a lot later on. But their whole gimmick is that they're the last minute heroes. They show up at the very last minute and save people. And honestly, I can kind of respect it. That seems like the kind of guild that would form in a game like Crossworlds. I'm pretty sure right now there are like MMOs and other large multiplayer games that literally have this kind of guild in them. I'm pretty sure I literally today read about some people doing this in Valheim. In here, there are 5 gigantic boards in which you can read the names of every backer of this game. I think other than the very basic ones. And I'm just gonna prove that this is here and that we absolutely could, but let's not. I guess they all also got to choose a class, so that's nice. I am also more or less certain that everybody who we see having a conversation in here is also a backer who got to write that conversation. And these guys are absolutely OLED TV evangelists. And I can respect them.
See, I was just going to say that they were Comcast customers.
That's also entirely possible. The two are not mutually exclusive. Now, these guys. These guys are talking about an actual existing series of LP/walkthrough videos for this game that you can go and watch. So one of two things is true. Either that guy decided to plug his own videos in the game, or somebody else decided to plug those videos in the game. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't know about that. That didn't really seem like it was a backer conversation. I guess it could have been.
I mean, that checks out.
Yeah. You know what? I'm with the lady in purple. There is something in here in the backer list that says you can actually design an NPC, and it specifically says an NPC rather than a statue.
That guy was definitely one of them.
Oh yeah. But they are not all here. There are a couple just wandering around in the world. I don't know if there was any particular plan to distribute them in any particular way. I just know that there's a couple characters just out and about who are backers. And this is like the most authentic thing I've ever seen in this game. It's kind of uncanny. Anyway, that's the last minute heroes. This won't be the last we hear of them, but it's basically everything you need to know. By the way, I was very sure that there would be some kind of secret around here, somewhere, but there just isn't. There's just this place. Well, whatever. Let's go do a lore quiz.
I hope everybody was paying attention when we finished the dungeon.
Man, they're not even good bug puns.
So I'm with Leia on that one. We're just not even going to acknowledge that he's there.
It seems like a good approach. Anyway, Lynn takes guild entrance exams very seriously. Meanwhile, it's time to address what I guess is the elephant in this room. Hooray! Expectations! Never say it's easy. Oh, I remember this one.
Yeah, definitely buy.
Yeah, let's try that. I'm kind of impressed that we managed to go this long without them noticing this. We're just like a really inconspicuous presence in a conversation.
Yeah, a workaround. We'll go with that.
Look, Lynn, you were so focused on the quiz that you didn't notice that we literally can't speak. So yeah, surprise, this becomes a multiple choice anyway. We both know that any other game doing this would have made it a multiple choice, but they've gone the extra mile to make this justified in universe.
I hope you remember that first question, by the way, because, you know, she didn't tell you it again.
Now, you don't technically get to know whether you get these right as you're answering them, though there is a tell, but it's not really very blatant. Most of this stuff more or less falls into place if you can actually remember that we are talking about the square god, who was like the ice guy. Also, I'm pretty sure that in the lore, like, more or less all of these incidentally were true, although only one of them is actually explicitly mentioned in the text. Anyway, we aced it because, you know, I can actually read the encyclopedia. There's a bonus question, by the way. Why is there a bonus question? Don't think too hard about which one of these classes was made by the god of the square.
I'm pretty sure it was the Tribe-Later.
Sounds good. And of course it would be that she's a quadrigard herself, so she gets to do the whole quiz about the ice guy. It's pretty classic. Anyway, what if you answer these wrong?
You only got 0 of them right.
We're just that good. Anyway, the answer to that is absolutely nothing happens. You get a very slightly different response. Like, she says, like, okay, good, or she just says, like, okay, depending on whether you get them right. And if you don't get enough right, you can just do it again. The only unique dialogue in this whole thing is if you go with the cream puffs. By the way, you only have to get 3 out of 4 right to pass. They're not that strict.
I feel like for a guild that is literally all about the lore, to ask you 4 questions that you don't even have to get all of them right, there's a little bit of a disconnect there, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. If they're recruiting new players and there's only one dungeon that they can have done that has any lore in it, I don't know. I don't get it. I guess you gotta play the hand you're dealt, right?
That's true. I don't exactly see a lot of other players knocking down the door to be part of the lore nerds.
Anyway, these guys all still massively out-level us, so we won't be raiding with them just yet. Man, Emily's a true gamer. It's not real games if you don't literally see the sunrise every now and then. Leah, please log out, I'm begging you.
Show yourself, Sergey. I will never log out.
Anyway, we have cool friends now. Isn't that all we need? Oh, whoops.